Everybody is muted. Thanks for joining me today, guys. And if you've got a block to use, great. If not, that is fine too. We're going to start sitting down if Bo allows me to do that. You can have your blocks off to the side unless you are going to sit on top of it. Find a comfy seat. If you're able to sit cross-legged, let's sit cross-legged for a little bit. But just closing your eyes, placing your hands on your knees or maybe in your lap, and taking a slow, deep breath in, lengthening through the spine. Deep breath out. Let it go. Take another slow inhale. And let it go. Taking one more deep breath in. And this time as you exhale, you might start to tip forwards, maybe just a little bit. Maybe you let your chest keep going and going and going down towards your legs. If you want to take your hands off your knees and move them beside you or in front of you, you can do that too. Just see if the upper body wants to tip forwards, and then use an inhale to slowly lift back up. Maybe you can keep your eyes closed, but we're going to cross our legs the other way. So bring your other leg in front. Might feel a little different, a little awkward even. And then reset, bringing your hands back to your knees or your lap, taking an inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, let it go. Another deep breath in. And out. One more slow, deep inhale. With the exhale, you might start to tip forwards just a little or a little more, bringing your hands again to the floor around you, if that feels good. Keeping your eyes closed wherever you happen to be, and then use an inhale to slowly lift back up. Maybe you can keep your eyes closed as you uncross your legs, plant your feet, bring your knees side by side, and then maybe take a gentle rock side to side. Give your knees a hug. You are feeling good. Again, maybe you can keep your eyes closed and find your way into tabletop, or feel free to open your eyes up. But make your way onto your hands, onto your knees. Spread your fingers out wide. Maybe give the hips a gentle rock or sway side to side. And then with an inhale, start to drop your belly down towards your mat. Lift your chest, maybe your chin. See if you can turn your elbow creases forwards. Hold it here, arching through the back. Let's stay for an inhale and use the exhale to round the spine. Squeeze your belly in, hold it here. Push into the palms a little more. Try to create some space between your shoulders and then tuck your chin towards your collarbone. Draw your belly button in. With an inhale, drop your belly down, lift your chest, your chin. Exhale, round. Inhale, drop your belly, arch your back, and exhale one last time, round the spine. Inhaling back to a neutral place, staying on our hands and knees, but extending the right leg back behind. You can tuck your toes, push the ball of your foot into your mats, or you can hover the foot. Maybe you even want to add your left arm, look down. If you have your right foot hovering, maybe point your toes down, flex the foot. Take another inhale. With the exhale, bring your hand, your knee back into your tabletop. Switch sides. Left leg back, maybe the right arm. If you want to hover your left foot, hover it. Flex that foot, point your toes down. Look down. Find your balance. Take one more inhale. Exhale back into your tabletop. Spread your fingers out wide again. Tuck your toes. Lift up into downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Using an inhale to look forwards. Exhale, walk up to the top of your mat. With an inhale, lift your chest halfway up. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, all the way up to standing. Reach your arms up. Exhale, lower your arms down. Big inhales, you reach up again. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Reach up. Stand tall. Exhale, lower your arms to your sides. Big inhale as you reach back up. And exhale to fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Reach up. Exhale, lower your arms down. Inhale, reaching right back up. Exhale, folding forwards. Take an inhale for your half lift. Exhale to fold. Plant your hands. Step back into your downward dog. Push into your palms. Send your hips nice and high. Stay for an inhale. The exhale, lower your knees down, back into your tabletop. The right leg is going to extend behind. Option to add the left arm too. And then maybe we'll add a few crunches here, or you can hold it steady. But starting to bring your left elbow and your knee together as best you can. Even round the spine a little. Give your belly a squeeze. See how close your knee and your elbow can get. You might even tuck your chin towards your collarbone a little bit. Cat pose meets a crunch. Inhale. Extend your arm, your leg out. Exhale. Pull it in. Round the spine. Squeeze the belly. Inhale. Extend. Exhale. Crunch. Round. Squeeze. Inhale. Extend. Exhale, release back into tabletop. Switch sides, left leg back, right arm out. Decide if you're going to crunch a few times or hold it steady here. But take another inhale. Exhale, pulling the knee, the elbow together as close as they can get. A little round through the spine, a little belly squeeze, a little tuck of the chin. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch, round, squeeze, inhale, extend. Exhale, pull it in, squeeze your belly. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tabletop. Spread the fingers, rock the hips if you'd like, but eventually tuck your toes and find downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and out. And then use an inhale to look forward. Exhale. Walk up to the top of your mat. Inhaling into a half lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale all the way up to standing. You can keep reaching your arms up. And use an exhale to slowly fold all the way back down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. When you reach the top and you start to exhale, fold forwards at the same time. No rush though. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale up to standing. Once you reach the top, start your exhale and your fold back down. Feel the length through your legs. So you slowly fold. Inhale, one more half lift. Exhale, folding, planting your hands, step on back, downward facing dog. Staying here for a moment. If you'd rather find child's pose, you can do that too. But we can also bring our feet out wide to the edges of your mat. Turn your toes in slightly. Lift your heels really high and then try to drop them down. Maybe try to lift your toes, push into the balls of the feet, trying to lower the heels. Push into your palms. See if you can bring your head between your arms. Nice work, you guys. Take another inhale here, maybe lifting the heels back up. And exhale, dropping the heels down, maybe lifting the toes. You can start to step your feet back all the way together if you brought them out wide. If you're in child's pose, join us, down dog, feet together. And use an inhale to lift your right foot up. Maybe open it up, maybe bend your knee. Trying to drop your left heel down. Maybe try to lift your left toes up. Three-legged dog. Take another inhale. Exhale, plant your right foot. Inhale your left one up. Maybe bend the knee, turn the belly button to the left. And then notice your right foot. Drop that heel, maybe lift your toes. Feel the calf, the ankle, the hamstring if you're lucky. One more inhale. Exhale, bringing the left foot down next to the right one. With an inhale, start to look forwards. Exhale, walk up to the top of your mat. When you reach the top, inhale into a half lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, half lift again. Lengthen your spine. Maybe lift the chest a little higher than you think. Exhale, fold forwards. One more. Inhale, half lift. Exhale as you fold. Plant your hands, step all the way back into downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale. Exhale to lower your knees down to your mat, setting up for tabletop. All right, you guys, a little bit of tabletop fun. So we're gonna keep our, let's start with our right leg. Let me flip around here so I don't kick the wall. Start with our right leg. We're gonna keep the knee bent and you're just gonna lift your leg up. Maybe your toes can point up behind you. Doesn't matter how high the knee comes. Just lift it up, look down. We're gonna start to send the right knee out to the side so your leg can rotate. So your toes might be pointing behind you. Your knee maybe is coming in line with the hip. And then slowly bring the right knee down. It can touch or it can hover. So it's a really slow kind of circle with the right leg. Lift the knee up, maybe point the toes up if the toes are a nice little guide. Then rotate the hip, knee beside the hip, toes maybe pointing behind. Slowly bring the knee down, tabletop. One more. These are nice and slow. Rotate the hip, knee out to the side, and then coming back into tabletop. So we did 3 slow circles there. With our right leg, we're going to switch sides. Left knee starts to lift. You can keep the leg bent. I do like to point my toes for this one, just to, again, guide the leg. Slowly rotate the hip, knees out to the side, toes may be pointing behind you. And then slowly bring the knee down to a hover or touch. Lift your knee back up. Rotate the hip, knee out to the side. Knee down. One more. Slow hip circle. Knee out to the side. Knee down. And then release. Once your knees are touching, both of them, tuck your toes, lift up into downward facing dog. Don't worry, we'll go a little further in a moment, but downward facing dog. The option to bring your feet out wide again, pushing into your palms. You might lift the heels up and then try to drop them down, maybe lifting the toes. If you want to go a little further here, start to walk your left hand back towards your right foot. Maybe you touch your foot or your ankle or your hand somewhere in between your foot and the top of your mat. But a little twist perhaps. Push into your right hand, push into your heels. Maybe try to lift your toes. Your left hand did move towards your foot. Bring it back to where it was and switch sides. Walk your right hand maybe halfway to the foot, maybe a little closer than that. Maybe you can hold on. Turn the chest a little. Drop the heels a little. Push into your left palm. Bringing your right hand back to the top of your mat if it's not already there. Scoot your feet back together. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale, walk to the top of your mat. Once you arrive, inhale for a half lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Pause in your forward fold. Maybe add a gentle sway. Maybe be still, but lightly tucking your chin towards your collarbone. You could hold your elbow, bend your knees, slowing down for a moment. Slowly, slowly let your hands fall back down to your mat if you're holding your elbows. Bend your knees more. Inhale into just a half lift. You might lengthen your legs as you lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, reaching up. Exhale, lower your arms down. Take a shoulder roll this time. A big inhale as you reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale, folding. Plant your hands, step all the way back, downward facing dog. Take a big inhale. Exhale, lower your knees, finding a tabletop. So, a couple more circles, or we can change things up a little bit. It's kind of a half circle. So if you want your knee to be bent, you can do what we did before. But if you want your right leg straight, send it out long behind you. And then we're going to hover the foot and move it out to the right side. So slowly with control, you can touch your right foot down, but then lift it back up, draw kind of a half circle. Maybe your foot ends right behind you, or maybe it goes to the left side of your mat. So this half circle can be as big as you want it. Your knee can be bent. You can do those nice circles that we did before. But just take one more half circle or full circle. Ending off with your leg behind you. So if your leg or your foot's off to the left a little, slide your knee back in, and then we'll switch sides to the left leg. Send your left leg out long if you want it to be long. Start to lift the foot. Move it slowly off to the left side. Tap your foot down or hover it if you want to. And then draw your half circle. Move slow. Feeling the hip, the glute. Let's do one more. We need to do this one more time after this. So take one more. This is our warm up. And then slowly come back into your tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift the knees, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then use an inhale to look forwards. Exhale. Walk all the way to the top of your mat. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, lower your arms to your sides. So step your feet out to both the edges of your mat. We're going to come into a squat here. And if you have a block, because we're going to be here for a little bit of time, you can actually sit on your block or you can hover. You don't have to sit on anything, especially if you don't have anything. But toes out a little, knees are going to start to bend. And then if you want to sit on something lightly, you have a few different heights to work with. So if you're sitting on something, it's a lot less work, more of a hip opener. If you don't want to sit on anything, well, you could do that too. But a squat, a deep, deep squat. Your hands might be on the inside of your knees. Your hands might be on top of your knees, depending on how high you are. If you're fairly high up, you can widen your feet even more if it feels good to do so on the hips. But let's try to lengthen the spine, lift the chest up. Then maybe your right hand will come to the floor just on the outside of the right foot. And if you're a little bit higher, maybe your hand is on your knee, and we can add a little twist here. Feel free to widen the feet, especially if you are a little higher up. Maybe you're looking up. Take one more inhale though, and then let the exhale bring you back through center. Just lift the chest again, lengthen the spine. Almost done here. Left hand can come down or to the knee. Slowly turn the chest, maybe reach up. Feel your hips. Open up your knees a little more. Take another inhale. Let the exhale bring you back. If you can hang out for just another moment, maybe bring your palms together. Awesome work, you guys. We're going to come all the way up to standing. So slowly, slowly straighten the legs. Give them a nice shake. Hopefully you felt some love there. If you're sitting on something, move it to the side. Find the top of your mat. Bring your feet closer together. With an inhale, reaching the arms up. And exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Plant your hands, step all the way back into downward dog with your feet together. Inhale your right foot up. Bend the knee if you'd like. Open it up. If you feel like adding those hip circles back into your three-legged dog, you can bend the knee, you can make some circles in one direction and then switch directions. It's loosening up through the hip. Take one more inhale with your right foot lifted. Exhale to bring it down. Inhale, switch sides, left leg up. Maybe the knee bends. Just optional to add in the hip circles. Make them slow. Make those circles as big as you can. And just switching directions. You're going for those circles. Nice work, you guys. One more inhale with the left leg lifted. Exhale to place it down. Take a deep breath in. The exhale, lower your knees down. This time come into child's pose though. Bring your knees out wide, your big toes together. Rest your forehead, maybe on your hands, maybe on your mat. Enjoy this nice break. The heart rate come down, slow the breath. And maybe just check in with how your hips are feeling. You can stay here a little bit longer, or we can start to lift back up into tabletop. We'll do our final set of hip circles. Maybe it's your half circle or rainbow. is what I prefer to call it, or you can have your knee bent. But we're going to do 10 on either side. So you can start to send your right leg back, whether your knee is going to be bent, lift the foot up. Send your leg out to the right side. If you're doing circles with your bent knee, do 5 in either direction. If you're doing the rainbow, start to lift it up. Going over to the left counts as 1, and bringing it back over to the right counts as 2. That's 8, and we can do 1 more. Going either way. And then bringing your leg back behind and your knee into your tabletop. Feel free to count your own if you're not quite lining up with me, or maybe you just want to trust me. So 5 in either direction if you're doing the circle, about 10 if you're doing the rainbow. Taking your time. Use your strong glute and hip. And one last before you come back and into your tabletop. Hopefully you feel a little bit of heat through your glutes, your hips. You can rock it out a few times side to side. But we will be coming onto our tummies next. If you've got a block to use today, I'm going to do that nice neck stretch. If you don't have a block, you can use your hands. Just resting your chin either in your palms or your jawline in your palms, or your chin on your block. Enjoying a few moments here. So if you can close your eye, maybe open your mouth a little bit so the teeth aren't clenching together. Take just one more breath. And then starting to lift the chin off your hands or off your block. Stack your palms. Rest your forehead. Just bring the neck back to a neutral place. Maybe scooching your big toes together. Letting your heels fall out to the side. Just noticing any sensations running throughout your body, through the head, through the neck, and anywhere else. We're going to take a counter stretch. There are different variations, different levels of how far you might want to go here. So if you want this to be nice and light, bringing length through the back of the neck, and you want to stay on your belly, you might just come up onto the forearms, let the chin fall towards the collarbone. That is not quite comfortable. In the back bend as well, you can push up into a seated position. Have a seat on your heels or cross-legged and let your chin again fall down towards the collarbone. If you want a little bit more than that, you could rest your hands on your head. And then if you want to go into full rabbit, bringing our heads down to our mat, have a seat on your heels first. Tuck your chin towards your collarbone. Try to bring your head down towards your mat and then lengthening through the back of the neck so your hips can lift off of the heels. Bring your head as close to your knees as you can. Not an easy place to talk in or breathe for that matter sometimes. If you are in rabbit, take another breath. And then you can slowly start to lower the hips again if they're lifted up. You are seated or even on your tummy in sphinx with the chin coming down towards the collarbone. You can stay seated, you can stay on your belly, but just find a neutral place for the neck. So you might stack your fists, use them as a pillow. You might be seated, nice long spine. You might be on your belly, resting your forehead on your hands or your mat. Just taking a moment wherever you happen to be and just observe. Observe your body. Observe your breath. No need to put any effort into it. Just notice how much your body is breathing in this moment. So if you are on your belly right now, you can stay there. We're all gonna meet on our tummies. So slide forwards. We're gonna set up for half frog. So left knee can come out to the side. Maybe your knee is in line with your hip. Maybe you're resting on the inside edge of your foot. You can relax your chest down. And if you want to add your left shoulder into this, you can also slide your left arm under your chest, reaching your right arm out in front, or maybe using your hand as a pillow. If you did, bring your arm under your chest for that extra shoulder stretch. You can lift back up, take it out from under you. Relax your upper body down again. Then your half frog leg can start to come back behind you. Send your left leg next to your right. Take a moment if you'd like, or start to switch sides, right leg out to the side. Maybe the knee is in line with the hip, resting on the inner side edge of the foot. Maybe you lift your chest and slide your right arm underneath, or you could just focus on the hip. You've got your arm under your chest. You can slowly lift up again. Take it out. Relax the upper body, starting to move the right leg back in. Maybe the big toes come all the way together, the heels fall out to the sides, and just relax. Feel the hips, the legs. And you feel ready to move. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Just push yourself up onto your knees. Let's bring our knees out nice and wide, like child's pose. We won't be here too long. You can start with your big toes together and then see how wide you can get the feet. So maybe your toes are pointing back behind you. Maybe your feet are in line with the knees, maybe not quite that far, but just see how wide the feet want to go. Just kind of a frog variation, but not really frog. You can send the hips back towards your heels. Just see how the hips feel, see how far they want to go. And then we're going to flip this over onto our back so you can kind of notice where your legs are right now. Maybe it'll be similar on our back, maybe different. But scoot your knees in a bit so that you can cross your ankles. You can sit down. You can lay down. And once you are on your back, you could keep your feet planted a little bit longer. You could start to lift them up, hugging your knees towards your chest. Maybe adding a gentle rock side to side first. But then we will start to open up our knees again. No rush to do so. But start by opening the knees. Maybe the big toes will stay together. Then maybe you'll start to open the feet up. Think about keeping your feet in line with your knees. So not happy baby, but more of a frog variation. So you might be pointing the toes a little bit down towards the bottom of your mat. Sometimes helps just kind of keep the feet from lifting, from going wherever they want to go. Your hands on your knees, though, you can lightly hold them in place too. Maybe guide them out a little wider. Maybe just hold them where they are. And then see if you can just soften through your hips a little bit more. You're actively pointing your toes. You can continue to do that, or you can start to relax your ankles. See if the feet stay kind of in the general area that you place them in. Your hands are holding onto your knees, and there's some effort there in the arms. You might see what happens when you start to relax your arms. Relax your hands on your legs and see if the knees move at all. Trying to make this as effortless as possible. But of course, you got to do a few things to stay where you are. So we'll slowly start to move. Keep your knees where they are, but move your feet slowly back together. See what happens to the knees as you try to connect your big toes. You can slowly start to move the knees back together. Maybe you need to guide them together with your hands. Maybe they go there with very little help. Or just giving your knees a little hug. You might lift your head, your shoulders. Squeeze the legs in. Then gently releasing. Rest your shoulders, your head, and your feet down to your mat. Sliding your arms out wide, weighing down the shoulders. But heel toe your feet out wider. And start to tip your knees over towards the left side. So feet out wide. That means the knees won't be stacking on top of one another. You do want a little extra though. The left foot could rest on top of the right leg. If you did cross the left foot on the right, let it go. Lift the knees slowly back up. So the knees are out wide, the feet are out wide, and then they can fall, hover towards the right side. Maybe crossing the right foot on top of the left leg for a little extra. Your legs are crossed right now. Let that go. And then slowly lifting the knees back up to the top. You might take a couple gentle rocks with the knees side to side, massaging the low back. Might even hug your knees back in towards your chest. With the head, the shoulders, hug it out. And then eventually releasing everything down again. So with these extra few minutes that we have at the end of these classes, because I've made them 10 minutes longer, it's because I wanted to have a longer shavasana. So we usually do 1 or 2 minutes. I want to kind of do 3 or 4 minutes. So I definitely understand if you need to carry on with your day because you're used to ending at 12:50. If you are open and available to spending a little bit more time, again, 3 or 4 minutes is not that long. You can start to make your way into Shavasana though. Whatever that is going to look like for you today. Letting your eyes close. Making any last adjustments to how you are laying or seated. Finding an effortless place to be. So you can fully let go of the body and just feel the breath. Without putting any effort into the breath, just notice how much your body breathes right now. Allowing your body to be still as you take a deeper breath in and out. Slowly start to move your toe, finger. Maybe taking another deep breath in and out. And eventually, the arms might reach above the head. Take a big stretch, maybe point your toes, shrug your shoulders to your ear, and then release, relax. Bending one knee at a time, and then you can roll over. Finding your way up into a comfy seat. Whenever you are ready. Just letting your eyes close one last time. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Awesome practice, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great day, and I will see you guys when I see you later this week, probably. Namaste.